You can't be serious. You want us to tie you up and sleep in the garage
Guys,
overnight?
So about last night. I mean, it's not as bad as it looks.
Where is Claude?
I mean, he's everywhere.
Did I do this?
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Making a Movie with Smoking Hair Film Society. Today is going to be episode 1. Last week I mentioned about things I'm interested in right now. Bigfoot, as you can see, Bigfoot, oh, and he's so cute. Finding Bigfoot, Alaskan killer Bigfoot, stuff like that. It doesn't have to be crazy stuff, but it's fun, right? The other thing is right now I'm into solo camping videos from Japan. I'm really into stuff like that, like sumo wrestling, samurai stuff. It's just definitely something I want to immerse myself into the culture one day. But seriously, so where do I go from here? What are we doing here? It has to be something that I can do on a small budget, a small crew, and it has to be stuff I can find readily available to me. So since I'm really interested in those things, why not do a camping video or some sort of that, right? I can get a hold of a Honda Pilot. I got that. That's check. I can probably find a campground. Okay, so if I have that, what kind of movie can I make? Well, the cheapest thing I can think of is a found footage movie, right? And everybody's like, oh no, a found footage movie. But how can I do my version of that? A lot of the solo camping videos are the ASMR stuff, where you just hear everybody kind of whispering and then it's all the sounds. And sometimes that's why I find creepier in horror movies is the sound, not just the dialogue. So, and since I'm kind of like the story guy, it would help with making a movie that I can do. So what I'm going to do is I have a character, right? We're going to go, her name is going to be Carly. So camping with Carly, something like that, right? Okay. So she's going to do these camping videos. So the real question is, why is she out there? I mean, it's boring, right? There has to be a reason why she's out there. So why do people do camping videos? I've read where it's peace and quiet. You have control over your life out there, I guess. It's kind of like the freedom of doing whatever you want. Okay. So say that's what she's doing, but why is she doing that? Didn't she have the freedom before? And I'm already putting in that she was in a relationship and they already did a YouTube channel before that. So let's go with that. So maybe their relationship wasn't the greatest. Maybe he was abusive. Let's start with that. Yeah, okay. So she's getting out of an abusive relationship. So let's say he was beating on her. He was very abusive. So she checked into a shelter. And recently I just found out that you can only stay there for a certain amount of months. So what if this is the time where she's leaving, right? And she's already used to this camping stuff. So she goes to camping. She has her van, her van or her Honda. She goes out there and maybe this is her life. She's going to leave now. Maybe she's going to do these camping videos while she's traveling across the country to go wherever, maybe her parents' house, her mom's house, whatever. So, okay, now, so that's what she's doing. So what's the antagonist? What if her husband is really possessive, because he was abusive. So maybe he's stalking her throughout this thing, and she just doesn't know it yet. So that's another perspective that I could have with this story. Now, where does the found footage stuff? So that's what I was thinking about. Maybe instead of kind of doing a semi ASMR stuff with the sound, but a found footage. What if she's doing a live stream throughout this short. So we'll have the chat, talking to her a little bit, just like barely a bunch of conversations to push the story through. Maybe about why she's not together with her husband anymore. Stuff like, if you did all this stuff before, why can't you make a fire? Stuff like that. And then I can sporadically put the live stream stuff with her being stalked. Now, once she's out there in the woods and stuff, this is where we can do Bigfoot. Now, we know, I think we're going to do where we know something is following her. We're going to assume throughout the story, you're going to find out she's been in that abusive relationship. So we're going to assume that it's the husband. What if it's not the husband? What if it's Bigfoot? Now, I'm thinking a lot of the videos I've seen, people out hiking or getting in trouble, they don't know what they're doing per Bigfoot stuff. Like sometimes you find structures in the woods, or there's a barrier put up that supposedly Bigfoot sets up these barriers. This is his domain. Cross it and you'll be in trouble. So what if we have during a hike, and I was thinking maybe like a point of view shot, with like a chest harness or something like that. You see her going through this hike and she's discovering this barrier or these structures, and maybe she knocks it down by accident. She crosses that border and now incurs the wrath of Bigfoot, right? So we can do the whole thing of her doing her whole thing, setting up her camp, cooking. Maybe the ex is following her, calling her multiple times, just really abusing her emotionally, so she's strung out with that and she's not paying attention. And I think what we'll do is once it crosses that line, she goes to bed and then she's woken up by someone or something walking around the Honda. So this is where the ASMR stuff comes in. You hear the crunching of the leaves, the kicking of the dirt. Somebody or something is walking around, a hit or something like that. We give little clues, like maybe her car has issues stopping at a gas station. Maybe she gets a jump, and then later on her car doesn't start. We have to throw some of those tropes in that horror people, expect, right? But there has to be, the Chekhov's gun. If I show the gun before that, I have to show it later. Why is there a reason why I did this stuff? And then perhaps we find out that her husband was there, and all this stuff happens with an interaction with a Bigfoot. I actually already have a person. His name's actually, he's a writer, a coworker of mine. He does horror novels, or he's working at it. He's an amateur writer right now, trying to get his feet off the ground, but he said he wants to do it. So I'm going to get a Bigfoot suit. He'll be my actor for that, and it'll be one of those things. I'm very like the first Alien, where it's like you hardly show them until the very end. I think that's what I want to do. So I want to do a lot of I have this scene in my head where she tries to turn the Honda on, it's not starting, but the lights are still working and it's shining through like mist. So I'll get like a fogger or something and have the mist. And so she gets out there, of course, don't get out of the car, but she gets out of the car. She's looking for her. She thinks it's her ex-husband. She's out there. You see her flashlight kind of like shining through this stuff. And maybe you catch, she doesn't, but maybe the people watching the live stream catches glimpses of something, right? Or they think it's somebody in the woods, and then she falls upon her ex, and he's all torn up, he's shredded, his guts are hanging out, and then that's when Bigfoot starts. And you don't know what's going to happen at the very end. I mean, I do. I think I have an idea, but I don't want to ruin it. And I think I know of a big twist at the very end, where it's going to be like, did this happen or didn't happen? You don't know. I like kind of those open-ended things at the very end. So my thing is, now can I write it? I've been doing a lot of Save the Cat stuff. Before that, it's I do a lot of screenwriting. I have a couple a couple screenplays in festivals. One right now, I am rewriting one that I won a festival. I placed pretty high on it. It's a horror movie set in a cave. It's a adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft's The Beast in the Cave. This one is called In the Dark. So I'm rewriting that for the Austin Film Festival. But I started following the Save the Cat method. Before that, my scripts weren't quite congealing as I wanted them to. Once I started doing that with like the setup, the debate, into Act 1, Act 2, Dark Soul of the Night. Once I started writing those, my scripts started to come together and they started placing a little higher. So while I'm doing that, I'm working on this script. So I need to figure out if my ideas can fit into those little segments of the script. And if I can do that between 12 and 15 minutes, that's good. And I think I have an idea. I think I have a good story there. It's just one of those things where I had to make sure the live stream stuff and the unknown point of view meshes well. And I think I have a little transitions between those that should work. And it might be a little unexpected about why there's transitions there. I think that's an idea, and it should work. I should only need, I think I have access to an actress. That's why I want to get this script written and readable, and I can send that to her, and she is part of a group that I might be able to use as a crew. Now I'm going to need the sound person, the actress, maybe a manager, and a couple of incidental actors here and there if I need them. But it should be a short crew, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to film the first half this summer, and then the second half, the main stuff, September, October, just because I don't want them in a car, with fires in the middle of the summer here in Texas, because it's going to be super, super hot, and I don't want to do that. Plus, it gives me a chance I can edit the first half, see if I'm on the right direction, and go from there. And I think there's a couple of things that I need to buy, but I don't think the budget is going to be that high. And I've actually found a location, I think a campground that has woods around it. And I think I can rent out a couple spots of the campground so I'm not disturbing people, and it should be a good setup. I think what I'm going to do is once I get the script ready and know what I'm shooting, I'll go out there myself and film and get the shots done, and I can take everybody along with that as another episode. I think that's cool. I think what I want to do is each episode further how I'm going to do this short. Like maybe the next one I will talk about writing the script. This was just a story episode. This is kind of what I'm thinking about doing. The next one I think will be writing the script. Now, surprise, I've already had the draft of the script written. It just needs to be rewritten because there's a lot of stuff in there that needs to be changed. Like I said before, I was thinking about doing an ASMR, but doing a live stream kind of doesn't go well with that. You have to talk. Sometimes you have to talk with people during a live stream. So I think I can do both as long as it's just small little dialogues. Because I think what's going to happen is all of her lines are going to be small monologues throughout this journey, because she's going to be driving from one place to her camping spot and then whatever. And she's going to have small little monologues that pushes the next thing. You find out what's happening to her, what she's going to do, her and her husband, stuff like that. And I think I'm going to have the live stream people as the audience. If I'm watching it, that's who I'm going to relate to. I'm going to be watching what's happening. And I even want during the chats, how people chat, they're going to be trolling her. They're going to be, talking nonsense, talking with other people during the thing, as long as it pushes the story. And I think that'll do well with the suspense, because it is kind of a horror movie, a little bit horror drama. A drawer? Maybe. But I think that's where I'm working towards. I should have the next episode done maybe by next week. That's what it seems like I'm going to do, is an episode a week until we actually get to the part where I'm going to give it to the cast and the crew, and maybe I'll do a little interview and introduce them if they agree. If not, I might have to go looking for an actress. I think I can do everything else myself, like with the lights and the sound, and I definitely want to do an episode with trying to learn how to work with the iPhone, the lenses, because I think might be hinting towards getting a moment lens, and then maybe a zoom recorder for the sound, but I really don't know how to work those, so that's what the plan is. I'm going to do episodes for each thing, and just recently I was listening to a bunch of podcasts and YouTube videos where they say if you're not used to doing that, maybe do an experimental movie, like a 1 minute or 2 minute, just to work with the equipment. So that might be on the agenda, maybe a 1 or 2 minute kind of short, just playing around with the camera. But other than that, I think that's what's going to happen. We have a lady getting out of an abusive relationship, trying to start a new YouTube channel, being stalked by her ex, possibly a large hairy man, Bigfoot, and some other surprises along the way. But I think that's what's going to happen. I think it should be a pretty easy shoot as long as I can figure out how to light it. And but other than that, I think that's where we're going to go. I think that's where we're going to leave off. I know it's kind of me rambling, but it's just I'm using you to get my ideas out there. So if you have any ideas about that, or what you just heard, or you're not clear upon, send me some ideas in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll go on to the next one. Should be episode 2, the screenplay, and I'll probably set up some stuff with some flash cards and make sure I'm hitting each scene or whatever. So, well, yeah, let's go. I hope you guys can follow along with me, and we'll try to make Did You Hear That a success. I want to get that out there and hit some festivals. So, all right. We'll see you next time with Making a Movie with Smoking Hair Film Society.